I'm happy today. I can't cap, I can't lie. I'm actually very, very happy right now, and I'm gonna tell you why. First things first, the setup, I feel like this is a perfect setup. Do y'all not think so? You know what I'm saying? I mean, my room's been looking like this, but I feel like I've been trying to figure out exactly which way to make this work. And I think this feels like the best way. It feels homey, it feels warm, it feels welcoming. And I'm just excited that, I finally got it in the bag. You feel me? I got it in the bag. Reason number two, I've been having a good day. Today is a great day, actually. If you are an adult, and not just like, oh, I've been an adult for 20 years type adult. If you're an adult, like you've been an adult for the past 5 to 7 years, I give it like 5 to 7 years. You were 18, now you're hitting your 20s, you're in your 20s, a little bit deeper in your 20s, and now you're like, dang, like life is going life. I'm happy because I'm able to finally say that I've been doing some things for myself, for my financial situation, for my professional situation, all these other things, and I feel like I'm finally getting a good rhythm on a lot of things that I've been trying to do for a while. So it feels good to actually be there, and to be in the space of I did it and it's happening. Like it's not like I'm trying to. I did something and it's actually working for my good. It's just been a really good day, what I'm saying? I got to talk to some of my friends today and they seem like they're having better days. So I just love when I'm having a good day and other people are too. It just makes the world go round. Before I get into anything else, let me tell y'all what time it is. It's 4:07 p.m. It is Thursday, January 11th, 2024. Again, we in the new year, y'all, and it feels great to be here. Being alive, being able to move my body, how I need to move my body. I'm just happy to be back in this space, back in this environment. And I'm happy to see you guys today, though I can't see y'all physically. Happy to be able to share this content with you guys. So today I really want to talk about optimism. And the reason being is because today I feel really happy. I feel really excited to pursue new things in my life, especially when it comes to my personal life and my career goals, my financial goals, things of that nature. And it's just overall, like I feel like I'm having a really good time figuring it out. Sometimes in your 20s you get a little discouraged because you're like, I don't know what's happening. I'm growing up, things are getting hard, bills are going hard, and they don't stop. Like you used to think about it like this. In high school, you would go to school, do what you would do or whatever, stress of just regular school would come upon you, but you would pretty much just go at life and do what you were doing. And this was just my experience. I didn't have the burden of the bills that I have today during that time, right? You would think about, oh, I want to go out and do this with my friends, or, you know what I'm saying? You want to go, you got the car, so you got to get gas or whatever. Those things was things that you were thinking about on that level. At least when you got to like junior year, senior year, you were probably like, yeah, I'm doing more things. I need more money. By that point in time, you had a job. At least for myself, that's what I had. And so I wasn't thinking about life from the perspective of, oh, things are going to continue to get harder. Bills are going to get higher. You feel me? And I'm going to have to do a whole bunch of stuff. None of that was on the forefront of my mind at all. I was just trying to graduate, trying to make it through high school. But you get to a point when you hit adulthood and you start experiencing it, that things just get harder and harder and harder. And you now are in a place where the reality of adulthood slips in and you're like, oh, I'm getting older for one, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing, but I'm getting older. Things are getting more expensive because now I have to pay for this by myself. I have to work with this by myself. Oh, snap, something happened in my car, I gotta fix it. So things are starting to progress in a direction that definitely looks like we going down because nothing's looking up. And it's hard to be optimistic about life when, everything in front of you seems like it's pointing towards pessimism because it doesn't seem like it's getting better. So I know we talked about a lot this season. We talked about, how to cope with seasonal depression. I give you guys some tips on actually how to deal with times when you're overwhelmed. I've talked about the sunlight and how it's been really important. Anyone's health, let alone someone that would be dealing with seasonal depression, how good it can help you and just get you the necessary vitamins that you need for your body. I've even shared my personal story with seasonal depression and how when I was grieving, how much it affected me, or how much more it affected me, dare I say, during that time, because seasonal depression is nothing that's new to me. I've experienced it for many years, even before I knew the verbiage to put to the feelings that I was feeling. But I feel as though one thing that may not be talked about a lot is just simply optimism. Having optimism while you are dealing with seasonal depression. I think that a lot of times when you're going through a depressive episode or you're just really sad or down, any point in your life, whether you have depression or not, you fall into this category or this space where nothing around you looks bright. Everything feels darker, it's blue. If you notice in music, this blues era, blues, the genre was created from a blues era. It was created from an era of time when people were very sad and down and things just weren't seeming very good. And that's a whole different study on its own. But overall, that was the tone, that was how it sounds. So when you listen to blues music, it does kind of equate to like a sadder tone sound. So when I look at life from a pessimistic lens, like in blues with music, I'm looking at every single thing in a negative way, meaning that one inconvenience is going to be looked at as a large negative thing, or even the things that may look or be good, like, oh yeah, I was able to pay for this thing, at the store. I look at it from the lens of I had to pay for this thing at the store, not, oh, I was able to, in a space of like gratitude and optimism, like, yeah, I had the money to do this. No, I had to pay for this, and now I feel like this is a bad thing because I had to spend money in order to get this thing. Life is going to give you apples, it's going to give you lemons, it's going to give you oranges, but are you going to make it into juice, or are you going to just throw it out and call it a day and not do anything with it, or just let it sit on the counter and spoil? Be productive, be proactive, right? Take these things that life has thrown at you and spin it in a different way. You don't have to take bad news for its face value. I think you do, and you should, right, take time to process what's going on with your life, because not all of the bad news that you get is going to equate the same things way differently than we really realize it, right? If you're talking about, someone that might experience death in their family compared to someone that lost their job, they're going to feel very similar in a way. It's going to feel like, dang, this is very drastic, but this is a loss of life compared to a loss of income, right? And there's no way to really say that we can put things on a hierarchy, because then we can go into the privileges of things that really affect us on a large scale. It's safe to say that we can go down a list, right, and list out every race, every ethnicity, every gender, whomever, and talk about each individual privilege that each individual, intersection of experience of people have. But the reality is that in our experiences, though there are privileges, there are still the reality of our situation. Just because someone is one race over another does not diminish the negativity or the pessimistic, I don't want to even say pessimistic. It doesn't negate the problem that's at hand, right? This person could be dealing with a car situation. It doesn't negate that the car situation is still bad, regardless of the race. The car situation is still bad, or, there's still death in your family. These things don't, weigh any more or less than each other, but the scope of your reality may look a little bit different, because someone may have more funds than you do to pay this off, or someone may have more resources than you do to handle this situation. That's a truth. But the reality is you still are both dealing with something very similar and very negative. Overall, I want y'all to really just take into account throughout your lives that pessimism can lead you to a darker place. It's inevitable. Pessimism, I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Pessimism, dang, I'm not getting it right. Pessimistic. Pessimism, am I saying it right? Hold up. Pessimism, I don't know if I'm saying this right. Pessimism definitely can lead you down a path that looks a lot darker, it's a lot gloomier, and really can lead you to a place where seasonal depression is the least of your concerns. But when you choose optimism, when you look at things from a different lens, a lens that's filled with love, gratitude, light, all those different things, it does make life a little bit easier, or it can, right? I think it's hard, or it's safe to say that when you are dealing with seasonal depression, it is a hard thing to do, which is be optimistic. Things look sour, they look horrible, you know what I'm saying? You can't take things usually from a perspective of, oh yeah, it's joy. No, it's you feel bad, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't feel that good. And I get it, I really do. Trust and believe I get it. But if you can, take some time to consider optimism. Maybe if you are looking at your situation, choose one thing in your situation to look at from a flipped lens. Well, at least this isn't going on, or whatever the case may be. Then just try to work through it that way. It's hard because sometimes things are happening around you that just do not look like things are going in a good direction. But trust and believe there's a cycle of life, which is yin and yang, push and pull, good and bad. There is a balance. And so the things that you're experiencing now that may look bad and may seem bad will balance out to something very positive in it. So hopefully that gives you some encouragement. Hopefully this episode was very beneficial to you, because I know that sometimes when we're dealing with some things that look really bad, you can't get out of that bad mindset. But if you can, and if you can try your best. Even when you're around your friends, people that are supporting other people with seasonal depression, try to look at things with a positive lens. Don't slip into toxic positivity, which is a completely different topic for a different time. But I want you guys to just take an opportunity to breathe through what you're going through and try to see it from a more optimistic lens, because maybe it can actually help push you out of that seasonal depression or out of that dark space that you're in into something more positive, more enlightening. The sun itself is an optimistic thing when you think about it, because when you go outside, it's bright. Yeah, it's in my eyes, but it's shining. The plants are gonna get something from it. I'm gonna get something from it physically, mentally, because I know it's daytime, I can do some different things. But when it's dark, it seems like, oh, I do less in the dark, right? I do less at night. So yeah, I'm not gonna get into too much more. I'm glad you guys were here to witness this episode and witness this moment with me. I hope this was a very good episode for you. If it served you well, let me know in the comment section below on YouTube, or even give me a review on your podcasting platforms that you're listening on. And I'm thankful for every one of y'all right now. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what you're dealing with, but try your best. Choose optimism. Sometimes it can help. I'm not going to say it's going to promise you everything in the world, but it can help you just a little bit, just to get you that next moment, all right? Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace, love, Phenix.